No, not anymore.
Sneaky little Zuckerberg.
At least you're on now. Welcome.
Fix my beanie.
Welcome to this live feed.
Hi guys.
On Play and Fun.
Yes.
Play and Fun. Just wait for a couple of people to come on, but essentially what we are speaking to today is we wanted to make this evening a little bit lighter, but we're probably going to go quite deep anyway, because that's how we roll, right?
Yes.
We're going to go deep in a light way, though. How's that sound? That's what we're aiming to do anyway.
Mikey Cav, how you doing? Letitia Houston, how you doing? Hey people.
Welcome as you're coming on. Welcome. If you're coming on and you're just coming on, please place number 1 in the comment box. Let us know that you're here, and maybe an emoticon to let us know how you're feeling today as well. That would be wonderful.
Right.
You're inviting someone, yeah?
Big Nathan.
So, how many of you, while Mark is playing around there with the digital world, do you want to put your on mute? Yeah, that might work.
Sorry, man.
No, that's okay. I want to help you out there. Hold on a sec. There we go. Oh no, oh, you already did. They're perfect. Good. Okay. Hi Dawn. Hello. Welcome everybody as we're coming on. We're having not really a couple of technical glitches. We're just trying to do something different, that's all, that we haven't done before. So bear with us. But whilst Mark is being a technological guru, I'll jump on and start speaking and start speaking to what today's about, what this live feed is about. And of course, you know, Mark and I originally got together to do these live feeds because it is for Nexus. The Nexus event that's on the 19th and 20th of August that is being run, and that is also available. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, because online tickets are available, of course, which is really cool. Welcome as you're coming on, and number 1 in the comment box to let us know that you're here, of course. But we've found that we are thoroughly enjoying. Joni, welcome. Lana, welcome. Michelle, welcome. We're thoroughly enjoying these live feeds, and it's super fun. It's super fun. And what we're finding is that we are growing deeply ourselves as well. Corey, welcome. Tia, welcome, which is a beautiful thing.
That's my boy, Corey.
And we'll speak to a couple of special offers that we've got, or that Mark's got later on, and that I'm very blessed to be involved in as well. Shane, welcome, and we can speak to that very, very soon. Nina, welcome. So
I'm going to need to spoil it.
Yeah.
Spoil the party.
Yeah, go on.
I was wanting to surprise you with a very special guest, another amazing friend.
Hold on.
I've tried it.
Oh, you've tried it. Oh, you've already sent it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually go out on it as a watcher.
Oh, okay.
But Mr. Nathan Baxter is going to be joining us on the broadcast. I don't know how it will work in steps. I think you'll probably just see us two. But if you're tuning in through mine, it will be split screen. But audio-wise, you'll still be able to pick up Nathan anyway.
Yeah.
Nathan, I want him to introduce himself, but there's no way of inviting him on this for what I can see just now. So I'm going to have to spoil the surprise and just talk to him directly. Nathan, are you watching via a mobile device or via your laptop, big man? If you can let us know that. Yeah, I'm here. I don't get it, man. Everyone else is popping up with an invite. I had this with Mitch on Friday.
Yeah, no, welcome. How are you? Patrick, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Are you using a MacBook, big man? Because the Apple's laptop, is it a MacBook or Windows?
So what we're gonna get in. I know you're not referring to my accent, Joni. You're definitely referring to Mark's.
Can you try from your mobile, big man? And that will definitely make it happen.
Awesome. So fun. And this came up with a beautiful friend of mine today, and a client in one of our sessions. We were speaking to play and we were speaking to fun, and the importance of having fun in life and playing in life. And what does that actually mean? We wanted to really define what that meant today for all of us. Yeah. So really looking at what does fun actually mean? What does play actually mean? And it's very individual. It's very subjective. And what that means is what you find interesting and what you find impactful in a liberating way is going to be different from what your neighbor or what your friend or what your cousin or what your partner will find love and liberating. Not always, of course. Sometimes we share similar interests. But let's define love. I want to put you on the fun. I want to put you on the spot here, and I want you to define what is fun and playful for you, and then I'll go ahead and do that as well. What do you think?
You hear me talk about this every week, guys. Fun is the complete ownership, absent of others' judgment, of living in your values and being truly authentic to what makes you tick. And you're so immersed in that loving state that you're just oblivious to anything else. Completely present, in 2 words probably.
And how many of us immerse ourselves in that flow state? Because that's a real state of consciousness, a real state of being. It's a psychological state of being that allows us to feel very free and liberated and present and grounded in that moment. We are so deeply attentive. Our neural attentive circuitry is on fire. We are present with what we are doing. We are so, attached isn't the right word, but we are just so connected. We are so deeply connected to what we are doing. If we were to put ourselves under an fMRI scan, the way our brain waves would be functioning very different, as opposed to if we were engaged in activity that we are not connected to, that we are not feeling, that we are not engaging, that we are not present to. Yelena says lightness of being. Absolutely, the feeling state of that is this lightness of being. And in the world that we live in today, how many of us can say, and how often can we say that we are actually having fun? Do we have fun on a daily basis? Do we play on a daily basis? And some of us are blessed and fortunate enough to do so because we make it a priority, because we realize how important it is to our inner being, our inner well-being, how we feel about life. And that's interesting. Oh, we've got Nathan on. Awesome.
Big man's on. Bear with me, mate. I've had laptop and louds. I've had... Hey, big man, how are you?
What's happening, guys?
Yeah, the old technology, eh? Having fun with
awesome.
Technology. So, big man, we're just going to continue to set the scene for the next maybe 3-4 minutes or so, and then we're just going to pass the torch over to you to give us some of your wisdom.
Awesome. So people that are on my live feed, you'll be able to hear Mr. Nathan Baxter share his wisdom and what his thoughts and feelings are on this topic of fun and play, etc. But Mark, I want to ask you, because everybody's different, of course. What are some of the wonderful things that you do, that you engage in, that is fun for you, that is enlightening for you, that liberates you, that allows you to have this sense of playfulness, which obviously takes away a lot of seriousness of life, which also, as a byproduct, removes tension, tension and friction in life. Because that's what we want to do. We want to limit that tension and friction, and we want to engage in activities and experiences that are light. Yelena said it earlier, that are light, that allow us to feel lightness in our being.
Yep. What makes me light in my being is having alone time to play with myself.
Elaborate.
Did I say that? Did I say that out loud? No, fundamentally, this is one area of your life that you need to be okay doing it by yourself. So we play with imaginary friends when we're younger. We play with utensils. We play with anything we can get our hands on, because we're really in that creative, imaginative state. As we go through life, we get very codependent on others. And don't get me wrong, depending on what lights you up, it's like success. Bear with me, don't know why my phone's telling me it's ready to die. Should be okay. It's like success, it's completely subjective for you, your version of play. Some people like to do it as part of a team. Some people can do it from themselves. But I think as we adult, you want to find those little pockets of time that is just completely for you and no one else, and be okay with that, and don't have to justify it. For me, it's my dog when my wife's not in, specifically, because I can rough him up, and he doesn't bite, but he has that little playful chew, and he's just all fluff. If anyone doesn't know, check my profile pic that I put out for this. He's just amazing. He just looks like a big lion. So he's just all fluff, so I just grab him, and my wife was obviously prepping the nest from motherhood. She's like, oh my God, leave him alone. I was like, you can't feel anything. And he loves it. He just smiles and he lets you know. And I just pick him up and throw him around, and we play fight and I sweep his leg. Not as bad as it sounds. I'll just disclaimer, if there's any RSPCA people out there, we need to be very PC. It takes away the fun sometimes. But he loves it. And when I'm feeling stressed, I take one look at him and I go, do you know what? Down tools, go and play with the dog. That's one thing I do. The second thing is I just go, music on, headphones on, onto the decks and bang the music really loud. Sometimes to my detriment. Sometimes it's too loud, it's too clear what music I'm playing, and Mark Zuckerberg gets pissed off with me and he shuts me down for 4 days and I can't post any videos. And that's what's happened since last Friday. So like all things universal, we're back on when we need to be. We get back on for tonight. So just now for me, my dog and music is probably the big ones. There's a third one that I'll touch on further down and show you the difference between setting goals and setting fantasies and playing someone else's game rather than your own. I'll come back to that.
Yeah, someone else's version of fun as opposed to your own version of fun. Yeah. Nathan, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Awesome.
Sorted out those tech problems.
Awesome.
I'm seeing you guys on a very small screen, which is a bit odd. I was all good to go on my laptop, but oh well.
That's all good. I'm hoping people on my live feed, let me know if you cannot hear Nathan, but he's talking through an audio, so he's going to share his wisdom and his ideas on fun and play and how to integrate that into life and how to integrate that into our daily interactions, really, and including our relationships as well. And I'll touch on that a little bit later with respect to fun and play and how to integrate that in relationship with others and how to balance that, how to find a harmonious balance in that space. But Nathan, we want to take it to you. Yeah, awesome. So we can, Nathan, you're heard pretty clearly on my end. So just go for it, brother. Let us know your thoughts and feelings on that. We can see you, but my because we've got my screen set up as well. They can't see you, but that's okay. They can hear you. That's good.
That's not my dad. That's a client, Tom.
Oh yeah,
he's a rascal. Right, big man, take it away.
I don't know. It's fun. I think play is one of those really funny areas. I think over probably the last 5 or 6 years that we've been running seminars on play, we've tried to push the agenda to never ever define what play is. I think it's one of those beautiful things that is best left undefined. And every time I've heard someone try to define what play is, I don't like it, and I find myself getting angry. I also think it's hilarious that play and flow psychology are the things that I love talking about most in the world. Like way more than strength. Like strength is interesting, but it was really an opportunity to play for a lot of years. So I played in powerlifting for the last 10 years. That's really all we did. But play and flow, I think, are just incredible areas that are completely misunderstood. And even what I thought I knew about them 2 years ago, I've recanted of most of those things anyway. As more and more, I guess the more we let go of, or the more I let go of notions of what play should be or what it is or what it can be, it kind of frees you up to play a little bit more. So yeah, that's like number one for me is trying to get everyone to stop defining what play is and just leave it alone. Just see it for what it, just let it be beautiful. So I don't know, but I also find it kind of ironic as well, because I'm also one of the most grumpy people you'll ever meet, if given it. It's almost fun for me to be grumpy. So that's become my play. I don't know. That could be.
Cool.
Awesome.
Can we go for number 2? Have we done a number 2 yet?
Not yet. No.
I need to rephrase that. I'm talking about playing myself, and then have we done a number 2? Jesus, it's not a good start.
Well, that's number 1. You like to play with yourself
sometimes
in a dark room.
Sometimes.
When no one's around.
Sometimes if I'm feeling brave, the light's on.
That's always much more fun playing with someone else.
Yeah, I like what you said, Nathan, about not defining play. And when we do that, we open ourselves up to the mystery of what life can offer, and that in and of itself is fun, right? I mean, I associate fun and play synonymous with each other, and I really like that notion of just being open to whatever experience may come in that moment, and that in and of itself, without having to define play, can be an opportunity for us to just release into that moment, just surrender to that moment. And if you can agree with that, beautiful people that are out there, maybe place a number 2 in the comment box and really feel into what that means for you in terms of what does it feel like to... So I'd like to, actually, this is interesting, I'd like to hear about your experiences with surrendering, with letting go, with releasing into the unknown, and just being able to have fun in that present moment without overthinking, without overshooting, without future worrying, without allowing fear to come into your mind, and just feel the present moment. And what do you do to allow that to transpire, and what experiences do you engage in? Because everyone's different. I'm really curious what that is for everybody. Really curious. Yeah, what is that sweet spot for everybody?
I think I'll give you a quick example. I'll start and I'll let the big man take over. Nathan, in a kind of local, national and global scale, is renowned for his powerlifting accolades. From the kind of macro, if you like, right to the micro. Once you get to know him, he's just an awesome human that develops more awesome humans. It's pretty much what he does. That's what he used to say. I teach people to be awesome. And yeah, study of awesome. And but he's obviously strong. He's obviously powerful. But that transcends much more than his physical capabilities. So I don't want to delve too much into his story, because he's going to share that with us at Nexus and so much more. But we went to train a couple of weeks ago, and I think play sometimes can be a very unprepared, beautiful accident when you have the courage to deviate away from the plan. So right now I don't need to do anything. I would like to put on a little bit more muscle, a little bit more strength, and get back into it with some health things that I've got going on. Arguably, I don't know anyone stronger or more fit for the job than Nathan. So I went down there, but as he said, he's been very lucky to go all over the world just with his friends and just play with a band. It just so happened to he was very, very good at it. So I went down to have a play with my friend, and I went in from my point of view. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to learn so much more cool shit and put up. And within 2 seconds, I could see that there was just more pressing matters to be had. So we just had a conversation, we just had a chat. Next thing, that led to one of the most intense workouts I've had ever, and it's not what you think it would be. I was cooked after that, big man. Do you want to tell everyone what it was?
Oh, I forgot all about that. Actually, I'll see if I can set it up. I'm out at the gym at the moment.
Brilliant.
And this is the kind of stuff that we like playing around with. How are we doing here? So we've got these, got a string with beads on it, right? So I'll do my best to describe it for everyone that's on State Street. It's just it's a white string, like really expensive string that maybe cost me $1 from a craft shop, and the bead, there's a green one, a yellow one, and a red one, and they probably cost about 30 cents. So like we're talking high-tech stuff. And all we did, we put this bead on the end of your nose, and we try and make an X with the beads on the string. And then we've got more than one string. We've got strings over there as well, and we just play around with what we could see, and we had no real plan going in, did we, Mark? We just kind of just let it develop, and it was always along the lines of, hey Mark, can you do this? And he goes, yeah, I can do that. That's really cool. And then he got better, and like range of motions improved and all those kind of things. So we go, hey, what about if we change the strings around and try and can you do this? And then it just starts going back and forth, and you play that game of, hey, I can do this, can you do it? Which, by the way, is how I think pretty much all game night.
That doesn't sound like us, mate.
Yes, you can you pick up this rock? Right? I can pick this up. Can you? Yeah, you look at the Denny. You've ever heard of the Denny Stones up in Scotland? It's like a really great strongman event, and it's two stones that people used to hitch their horses to outside of a pub.
Oh, I never knew that.
I reckon that whole thing started because two drunk Scotsmen wanted to dare each other to see who could pick up the stones.
I believe that.
I think, for the most part, that's how play develops, and play kind of develops along really clear lines of rules of engagement, but the rules are always malleable, and the rules take shift and move around based on the needs of the game. So the game that I play with Mark with the Brock strings is going to be different to the game that I play with my daughter with the same strings. It's going to be different to the guy that was around training tonight, because the game can suddenly shift and move because we have rules, but the rules aren't fixed.
Yeah.
The rules are there so we can play along and have fun, but the rules really don't matter.
Yeah.
We change the rules to suit. And I think that's one of the great components of play. And it's present when people are playing that the people can just go, hey, let's change the rules because the game's no longer fun. Let's change the rules to suit to make it fun again.
So we're looking at adaptability and robustness, and I think what's really important, the takeaway that I got from that was that if we place rigid structures on our actions and our activities and our experiences, we lose that element of fun and we lose that element of play. It becomes too constricted, it becomes too restricted for us to really enjoy the present moment, because our focus, instead of being on the present moment, what we're playing with, what we're doing, what we're being, is more on, are we abiding by the rules? Are we abiding by these self-imposed, arbitrary, artificial structures that we've placed on ourselves? So if we can avoid doing that, we become very different in our movement in that moment in life. And if you can resonate with that, people, pop a number 4 in the comment box, because that's really interesting, is to actually, because our society is such a rigid society on so many layers and so many levels. We're so structured, we're so legal, we're so artificial in so many ways that we lose our ability to be in that moment. So what can we do and who can we be to not have those, to actually play? And it's to not have or place self-imposed rigid structures on our lives effectively.
Totally agree. I think from that, the other side of things as well, instead of just regulations, a lot of times it's result. A lot it's performance based.
Result driven. Yeah.
Yes, very much so. From an education point of view, it's probably been my greatest observation, because it's what drives my purpose to create this online curriculum further down the track, is because I just see that collaborative, consequential, creative thinker that is every young child squashed at a very early age. Like this is the equation and this is what it equals. And yes, in maths and certain other subjects that is true, but there's more than one way of getting to that result, and who says that result even means anything to the subject in question? I mean, if a kid can tell you very early on what they don't enjoy, why do we then make certain subjects compulsory for the rest? I don't get that. I think it's very constricted, it's very demanding, it's very top down, and I think when we embrace that bottom up state that we're really lucky to be born in, and we hold on to that, then result is just a beautiful consequence rather than a conscious objective.
Yeah, that's beautifully interesting. So we pop a number 5 in the comment box for if we can resonate with that. That's awesome. And leading from that, the purpose of goal setting, or the purpose of having clarity in our goals and our objectives, is to set and forget. And once those goals are set and forgotten, they really just become a directive for us to move through life. And what really becomes important is the present moment, is something that we can call process goals, is our ability to be really clear and really present with what we are doing there and then. And the consequence doesn't matter. The outcome is actually irrelevant because we're so entrenched and so engaged and so beautifully connected to the process, to what we are engaged in right there and then. And that can, I mean, if we have values, you mentioned this at the beginning, if we have alignment in values and alignment in purpose with what we are doing and being in that moment, we're happy. And happy is a natural byproduct of playing and having fun. Like it needs to be. It's impossible for it not to be that way.
Definitely. If you're doing what you love, you're never unhappy.
No, never. And you're almost always playing and you're always having fun because it's a perception, really. It's a perspective at the end of the day.
Let's stir the pot a little bit here because this can be fun. From an educational point of view, I think it's lost its mind a little bit with how PC we've all went. I don't know who this guy is. Nathan, Steph, Matt Temby, does that ring a bell?
37.
Yeah.
That dude, he can play hard.
Yeah, he's playing a good game just now, the little rascal. I like it, he's playing his own game. I like it. But from the PC point of view, I think we've went over the top a little bit. And it's that fine line between participation and product, or competition and collaboration, and we see that a lot in kids in the schooling system. And I would like to know some comments on that. I don't want to go too deep in it, but there's two very opposite ends of the spectrum where it's just have everyone connected and have everyone part of the one thing, and you'll get people that sit in that. But I think the real world in which we live in is a very elitist society, and I'm not saying that I totally agree with that, or I say, but there's certain parameters in your own life that you better be prepared that it's not all kumbaya and everyone together, because that stunts your growth. You actually need the challenge as well as the support. So I don't think it should be all participation with no product, but I don't think it should be all performance product based where we're forgetting the joy of the process as well. And I would just like to know what's your thoughts on it. Are you more competition based? Are you more connection and collaboration? And big man, I think you'd be good to chip in here.
I think you've known me long enough now, Mark, to know that my answer to everything is going to be it depends. So it really does depend. Like, if you go through some of there's definite play archetypes. Like, people will tend to default to play a certain play style.
Yeah.
I know enough about you now to you're going to default to competitor every time. Put you in a gym setting, it just comes out, and that's super fun for some people. I think everybody needs to learn to adopt all the different play archetypes, because if you're only ever the competitor, then that kind of gets kind of annoying and prevents other people from playing the game sometimes.
Yeah,
if you're always the joker, that becomes annoying after a while. If you're always the director, because director is a definite play style. The guy that's always setting the rules of the game. Like, some people, because you need the rules of the game, but like there's some people and the people who are aware that they do this, they can comment up in a second. They're the ones that will create the game, create the rules, assign roles to everyone, and you go, okay, your job is this. You run over here. When you do that, I'll do this. Those people end up making brilliant coaches, by the way.
Yeah.
Just about every personal trainer or coach that you met, their play archetype is the director, because they're getting huge fun and enjoyment and a sense of playfulness out of telling everyone else how to play the game.
Yeah.
Other people within that are going to be the kinesthetic. They just want to feel the movement. They don't care what they do, as long as they feel it deep in their body and have a rich experience. And I'm going to talk about this a lot at Nexus. I think is learning to adopt different play archetypes to have more rounded view of play. Because if you're only ever one, then you lose that rich experience of what play could be.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, complete sense. There's deep richness in diversity. There's deep richness in experiencing diversity in life. And I believe that's what you're trying to say. Yes, Nathan? That's what you are saying, actually. I'm not trying to say, you're doing a very good job of saying that. Yeah, there's such rich, and that's the experimentation of life. That is the purpose of experiencing all that we can in life. I mean, variety is the spice of life. It truly is. And yes, that's a contextual statement, but in terms of diversity and experience, and when it comes to play, and Nathan spoke to play archetypes, which is so cool. Like that is, and you're going to elaborate on that at Nexus. Is that correct, Nathan? Yeah.
I think we can jump into that, and we'll actually have a play with the play archetypes.
Yeah.
Just to give people in playing in different fashions.
Yeah.
Because play can be very, I guess, playful, but sometimes we also miss out that play can be very serious as well, and that there's a deep joy in serious play.
Yeah.
And so experiencing that and looking at it from different angles, there's so much to. We can play a whole lifetime and barely scratch the surface.
Love that.
So I think learning to, and one of the, actually, as I think about, one of the hallmarks of play is novelty.
Yeah.
So if we only ever play the same way every time, play becomes less playful. Yeah.
Becomes stagnant. Play becomes stagnant if it becomes, I suppose consistent isn't the word, but if we expose ourselves to an experience and it becomes mundane based on our perspective of it, we lose the sense of play, and we lose the sense of fun, integrative fun that's associated with that experience. So novelty is a beautiful way, that diversity is a beautiful way to keep those experiences enriched for us. And if you can resonate with that, yeah, Emma says it really well, monotonous. When an experience becomes monotonous and we perceive it that way, we tend to lose that interest, and we lose our connection to that experience and the quality of the connection to that experience. So maybe a number 6 in the comment box if you can resonate with that. And maybe when we're asking to put numbers in the comment box, people, it's for you to be obviously interactive, but more importantly, it's for you to think about that statement or that sentence or that idea that we're speaking to, and then bring it into your own existence, bring it into your own life, bring it into your own relationships or your relationship to self, and how it also affects you, how you feel about it, how you relate to that idea, that ideal, that construct, that thought, and how you feel about it and how it affects and impacts your life as well. And that's super important. So really draw to those experiences and comment to those experiences as well. Share your thoughts and your ideas and what you find most interesting in life, and what really stimulates you. And if you disagree with something that we're saying, let us know, because we want to hear as many different viewpoints as possible in order for us to then connect to our practices deeper and also grow as well. And Yelena says it becomes stagnant if we feel we are obligated to have the experience. It doesn't come from desire. Yeah, absolutely, Yelena. Very true.
Can I chime in here now, because I think it's time, and Nathan and I have had that conversation about a goal that I set this year that was never my goal to set. For anyone that was on the live last week that saw me have my own personal therapy session and get more connected to why I do what I do with my dad and one thing and another. My dad is probably the best coach I've ever had in my life, but I put him up on a massive pedestal in terms of playing football, soccer for you Aussie guys. And I've been out of action for 4.5 years, and I've been stuck in that past glories from the competitive days. Like Nathan, I love these guys because they just call me my bullshit. It's like, yeah, nah, you're not all about connection to a point, but you're a competitive guy in a sporting environment, and they're true. I don't like losing. I love the lessons that it taught me, because you always win if you can see it. But this year, the ego and past glories robbed me of being present, and I went back to playing football, and every single Saturday I was coming up with a new injury. Now, speaking to certain people who go, oh, you're 35 in a couple of months, mate, you're getting old now, I don't buy into that 1 minute, because I still feel 8, 9, 10 years old, and the real studies that I do, yeah, we can transcend beyond that. Age is nothing but a number. And then it hit me, I went, I am older because I'm going back to that state from a competitive point of view. I'm not going back to that state from a playful point of view. And I've set goals this year to win Player of the Year in my first season back. So again, it was competitively driven, rather than the stuff when someone says, "How's things going with the football?" Like Adam Candish is one of the boys. He's like, "How did you go on at the weekend?" I said, "Oh shit, mate, we get beat 3-2. 2 guys sent off. It should never have happened. But I'll tell you something. Seeing the changing room after that, you will never guess what happened." And I start going into that. Like the result was like a one sentence. And then I start talking about the camaraderie of the boys, the connection, the music we were playing, how many pints one of the madmen sunk at the bar, and then I had to sneak away because I was on the water, and the vibe changed. But I just went into storytelling mode about the participation, nothing to do with the competitive side that I thought is why it brought me back. And the whole reason why I did that is because I'll never forget my dad's face at 10 years old when I first won Player of the Year. So it's interesting how all this stuff comes back round. So I set a goal this year that was a fantasy. It was never my goal to set. It was a social ideal that was still that little boy at 10 years old looking for acceptance of his dad. So if I win, it's something Dad's going to be proud of me. My dad's proud of me every single day. Sometime.
How many of you out there in the virtual world right now watching this live feed can relate to that in some capacity, where we have attached meaning in our experiences to actually impressing another human being, whether it be a primary caregiver, whether it be a partner, whether it be an uncle, a family member, an element of society even. How many of us have placed our self-worth and our value outside of ourselves and projected that in another, and when they perceive us to be a certain way, that we then are worthy, that we then are of something of value, that we carry meaning in life, and that we have a capacity to be this wonderful human being. And rather than internalizing that and bringing it into ourselves, we externalize it and we diffuse our power and we disempower ourselves and we lose ourselves in that instance. And in that, we create tension in the nervous system, we create tension in the mind, tension in the emotional body. And tension, to me, is the antithesis of play and fun. Because all we're focused on is trying to derive this sense of meaning from something that is so far removed from who we are and outside of our locus of control that we have no fucking capacity at all to actually embody that or be that. We're totally disempowering ourselves. And how many of you have done that out there? I mean, I know, hand up, I have multiple times in the past. And even now sometimes lose track of that habitual behavior that allows me to still step into that role where, someone else will make me feel better about myself. Someone else will allow me to feel good about who I am or feel connected to who I am. And I lose that ability to play. Oh no, Mark's lost his battery and lost his phone. That's no good. Oh no.
This is the story of my life.
Maybe the laptop's not working. Maybe we can plug that in over there, brother, but I don't know if it will reach. That's the only problem. The only problem is it won't reach over there. That's all. We'll keep going. We'll keep tramping on. So, like, there's some comments here around, loving your inner child and connecting to your inner child. Again, so important what that means. And we've lost Mr. Nathan Baxter as well, unfortunately. So we sorry about that. But you're back. Oh no, you're not back on. Oh, maybe you can go through your computer, brother. Yeah, sorry. Mercury retrograde and that. Yeah, the moon. Everything's happening. I'm feeling a bit funky. It's all happening here today. This evening.
Very quickly, my wife, pay it forward. Give her page a little like if you can, guys, called Luminescence. She's really been playing with the study of astrology and astronomy just now. And it's been brilliant to just watch her go into that and her kid, and she's just making all these charts and telling me what planets and what house and this is important and we need to do this, and it's brilliant to watch. And last night we wrote a lot of stuff. It was really
it was fun,
cleansing process, but as well it had depth to it. But it was fun. You just go back to that kind of mischievous little kid where you're burning shit. So we're writing things down, and it was everything that you forgive yourself and others for, number one. And then we're outside underneath the moon. We wrote it all down on a piece of paper, burnt it, let it go. And with certain things, with the power of when she was doing the forgive ones, like the paper like kind of jumped up like towards it. It was like, whoa. And then after that, it was thoughts, actions, traits, behaviours that no longer serve you. So we had to write all them down as well, and then seal it with gratitude. And we were just sitting underneath the moon, and it was supposed to be cold and all that, but when you're immersed in play, you have no conscious conceptualization of the environment. You're just completely, because you've been doing what you love. You talk about love, it's warmth, it's fire, it's values driven, it's what lights you up. And when you're doing something you love, you've got that fire burning within, so you don't need a fire coming from without. And she said something really poignant. She said, what happened to that stuff when we used to just lie? I had a trampoline back home. We used to just lie underneath the stars and just look up at the moon.
Why do we stop that?
Why do we stop doing that?
We don't need to stop that.
Lists and how many people are in pain in some capacity? Physically, it shows up, but I really think that's the kind of last attempt to kind of get you to address the mental and emotional. But pain, I believe, is a product of not addressing play.
Number 7. That's epic. Can you repeat that, please?
If I can remember what I said.
Pain is a product of not addressing play, of not embodying and embracing play. Pain is a product of not embodying and embracing play. And we lose that balance in life when we do that. That's a huge number 7, man. And I say number 7 because that's symbolic of me completely agreeing with that. That is so beautiful, Mark. Like, that is exactly what it is, brother. Pain is a product of not embracing and embodying play. And that's a really beautiful way to word that and to observe life in that manner. And when we begin to look at imaginative practices, or we look at practices that allow us to engage in play, there are so many practices, experiences that we can embody, circumstances that we can create for ourselves that really allow us to be connected to playfulness, to be connected to our truth, to the fullness of who we are. And we spoke to this earlier with respect to values. Like, it is so important that at the most simplest level, values are what is most important to us in life, what we thrive on and in, what gives us great joy. And ananda in Sanskrit, which is bliss is a definition of ananda. Ananda is just a beautiful word to really describe this blissful experiential state of being where we are just immersed in the present moment. And I really do agree with what Nathan said earlier about not limiting play, not over-defining play. We can have an idea of what play and fun is for us, but all we need to know is that if we are engaged in what is most important to us, and we can immerse in this psychological, emotional flow, spiritual flow state of being where we are present, where we are engaged, where we are hyper-focused, when we are so present with what we are doing and who we are being, that is more than enough to define play and to define fun. Yeah?
Can I playfully piss people off?
Yeah.
I love it. If we kept within the rules, you Aussies would never have AFL.
Oh, go on, expand. Because I'm not a fan of AFL.
So I talk about football. I
thrive on this.
The Aussies get pissed off with me and like, oh, you mean proper footy? and they do this, and I'm like, you holding a baby?
What do they do?
You holding a baby, man? I'm like, how can it be proper ball when you're holding it in your hand? It's a fucking egg, man.
Semantics now.
It's egg chasing, mate. You're a glorified rugby player. And then all the rugby guys pipe in, and I just do it to piss people off. I love all sports, and I love the dedication, the consistency, the commitment, the camaraderie, the going beyond the level of expectancy. That high level athlete. But you guys call it footy, right? For me, football is soccer for the risk of being for the purpose being PC. But my ball's at the foot. The only person can touch it in football is the goalkeeper. But you guys, I went to my first. It fries my brain. I love
how passionate you are about it.
Fries my brain, man.
But this is fun because it makes me laugh that he's getting frustrated. I don't know if that's sadistic, but we're having this conversation before as well. I was getting.
What's rugby then? A fucking joke, Diane. It's for untalented footballers. I used to say that all the time to a couple of my mates. I used to say it from a martial arts background as well when I was talking about boxing, and they'd say, oh, you need to come and do BJJ, and I was like, grown men cuddling each other, what are you doing, man? Rolling about the ground, touching each other up. Oh, are you wearing a cup? Oh, it doesn't matter. And I used to just wind them up, and then come down and we'll see how long it takes you. I don't care how good a striker you are, we'll tie you up and you'll be crying for your mum in 2 seconds. Nah, I'm not into that. I prefer girls, mate. I don't like rolling about the mat with guys. I used to just reel them in. But obviously, there's levels to life. There's levels to play. There's levels to everything else. Mixed martial arts, like for anyone that's trained like that, like boxing training is hard. Taking boxing to another level for competition is next level. You start throwing in the big primary movers of life, throwing in the glutes and legs and kicks, and then all of a sudden you're thinking elbows, knees, and what else do I need to check and move, and your whole stance and posture changes, the breathing, everything. That's next level again. You go to throw a strike and someone catches it and ties you up, you better be prepared to either relinquish control and breathe through it, or have some techniques to reverse it. And that's a whole other level of fitness. Mental strength again. Rugby's the same. I used to say, just for untalented footballers. It was just for the big fat footballers that wanted to drink too many pints and be like, oh my God. So I'm only joking, man. I said, I'm only saying this because I'm a competitive person and I know I would get smoked at rugby. I wouldn't last 2 seconds. I said, I'm just winding you up. So, but there is a serious point to this. Proper footy in whatever country you come from is exactly your right to define it as that. That's the way it is. That's how you see it, because that's what means the most to you. But football, in my opinion, just because of I should really check this, but historically, when it was first formed in England, and I don't remember, I'm Scottish, so I don't like giving the English a lot of credit, but they formed the beautiful game. From that came all these other modalities. So AFL, one of your national treasures, is a direct result of stepping out the parameters, breaking the rules, and seeing what else can we play with out here. So there's no right or wrong, guys. It's just literally life is really simple. The only complex thing in it is our brains. Do what you love what you do. People don't like it.
Lana, we're talking about ball sports essentially, and sport, and it just got on a tangent because he's Scottish and he loves his sport, number one. But because we're talking about the adaptive nature of human nature, or the human being, and what that is that when we are able to adapt and adopt new ways of being, we're turning potentially a stagnant or not boring, but we're essentially turning a stagnant activity or experience into something of greater substance for us, which stimulates us, which stimulates our senses, which stimulates our ability to view that experience as something very new and novel rather. And it's in that we can then cultivate fun. We can cultivate playfulness with that experience. And again, of course, it's all in our approach. It's all in our perspective. It's all in how we choose to approach that particular area of life. Yes, monotonous. Again, I always keep missing that word, Emma. Sorry, monotonous is what I'm. It's what. Yeah, it is a great word.
Emma, thumbs up.
Yeah. That's twice now. Emma's spoken that word for me on my behalf. Thank you, Emma. But yeah, it's that monotony, because when we're in that monotonous drudgery, we really lose the ability to find fun in what we're doing. We disconnect. That's exactly what happens. We become disconnected from ourselves, and we become disconnected from our experience. We begin to focus on what is not working in that experience, as opposed to the gratitude in the experience, the appreciation in the experience. What is actually fun in that experience, what we can actually derive from that. Dwari says, I have fun just walking on Mother Earth with bare feet, find things that are simple and you can find anywhere. That's very true, Dwari, very true. And you know, when we're talking about connection to Mother Earth, Nathan's on here. Can I invite him? No, I can't. Why not?
If you can swipe, you might be able to get
maybe you can have a look there. Maybe you can. But connecting to nature is crucial. Connecting to nature is so important for all of us, just literally for all of us, because we come from nature. We are connected to nature, and we will find great reprieve being with our natural environment. We will find great reprieve by being connected to our natural environment, and in that openness. And I speak to this quite a lot, and I'll speak to this at Nexus in particular. I speak to open and closed states of being. So we can only have fun when we are immersed in an open state of being. And there are definitions that there are definitions that allow us to understand what open states of being are, and definitions that allow us to understand what closed states of being are. And when we know the two distinctly, we can actually begin to move towards a desired state of being, which is an open state of being, Not to say we cannot learn from closed states of being. Absolutely we can. But prolonged, perpetual exposure in that closed state of being is not healthy for us. So just to really sum it up briefly, because I'll go into this in a lot greater depth at Nexus, is that closed states of being effectively encompass fear, rigidity, constriction, restriction, doubt. Those are the type of feelings that we experience, that the immersive states that we experience are one of not wanting or able to move forward, whereas an open state of being is really, stems from being courageous, being open to all experiences, and being able to perceive value in everything that comes into our sphere of awareness, essentially, in our sphere of consciousness. And if you can begin to relate to closed state, open states of being, and you can begin to relate that you get more from life when you are in an open state of being, when Dwari says freedom, absolutely. So part of being in an open state of being is that feeling of liberation and freedom and confidence in self as well. When we're in a closed state of being, we don't have that. Yeah. So if you can resonate with that, pop a number 8 in the comment box and let us know that you're connected to that. And 8's a beautiful number on this cycle. Yeah, Lion's Gate. Number 8. Let it happen.
I think that open state of being is brilliant, and we can transcend from the closed to the open quite easily.
We can.
If we can tie it into this feed and the subject matter. If we see becoming open as an opportunity to play with the unknown, then you've sussed it, because then the only person that has the rules is the divine creator, but they will change the rules as per your thoughts, actions, behaviours and everything else you're putting out. So if you go, I'm so closed, how the hell do I get open, and just go like that, I wonder if I changed that, would that change the outcome with this? And they'll go, yes, my child.
Hey, Paul.
There you go. They'll start to give you, whoever you believe that power to be, will start to go, now you're getting it. Now it's no longer, I mean, there's a reason, guys, we call it the game of life, because you're meant to play at it.
Check. That's actually, that's a nice point to...
I need to remember that. Like that.
To finish up. You happy to finish up there? You got some more to...
I would just quite quickly like to say, I thought that point of nature was amazing. At Nexus, we are going to be talking about the 9 functional movements of life. Sky, if you're still on the feed, please keep this to yourself, because there's a funny analogy for each one. And if you get how the human body is meant to move and why it's designed to move, and you link it from the physical to higher states of consciousness, you will see that opportunity. You'll be able to go from closed to open. You will go into a park and you won't go, I don't have a machine to bench press anymore. You'll say, there's an elevated tree stump, I can put my feet on that, put that in there.
That's exactly what I do when I'm out.
There's a branch that I can actually reach. I might not be able to pull up yet, but I can hang, and what does all that represent? I look at all these cracks in the pavement, I'm going to try and jump all over them, and that will affect my gait. And you can
deep adaptability.
We start to talk about it. It becomes fun again, because it's no longer this one-dimensional way of thinking when you walk, or way of moving.
It's not linear anymore.
When you go into a gym and you just sit down, we're doing enough of that all day, every day. So we're going to have some fun with that, and I've got some non-PC relatability about why I believe each.
Can you tell everybody what PC stands for as an acronym?
Correct.
Just in case.
Yeah, sorry.
No, just in case, that's all.
But yeah, and while we're on Nexus, I think, to be honest, guys, that there's something I want to address. And you said it beautifully earlier, it's enjoying the beauty of the process rather than focusing on the product. And then I tied into that a little bit more as well when I was saying, when the product is someone else's and you're trying to get gratification from them, again, that's another X against the rob. That's just a robbery of your own play. You run someone else's race, and it's not yours to run. Nexus was devised and created to make families' health better from a proactive and preventative point of view. I am very comfortable in myself to own that it has been about product in terms of how many people I can help, and I've done that from an integral point of view. But I've been there's a part though that's been very ego based. There's been a part that's been very fear based. There's been a part about, what am I going to do if I don't get 100 people there? How are these amazing speakers that I look up to, how are they going to take me serious if I can't fulfill what I'm doing? And I made it more about me and less about the people there. If the tickets that were sold just now, if that's all that gets there, that's all who's meant to get there. And there's enough people that we can collectively really make a difference. A lot of coaches will say, if I can make a difference in one person's world, When I put my head in the pillow at night, I can go to sleep sound. I've lost sight of that, guys. I've made it more about me and fulfilling my ego with 100 people in the room. And I will apologise and let it go because I've already sussed it in myself. The reason was to make a difference in families' lives. One of the things that hinders a lot of family is their perception around money, which we will change at Nexus if you can get there. However, like physical illness, disease and injury, if you're physically struggling, if you're looking at your bank account physically here and it's struggling, or you know there's bills coming in, we can't deny that. You can't just oh, I'm a millionaire and it's gone. No, it's a physical problem we need to address. Let me help you. If you are seriously want to come to Nexus but the funds aren't there, I will not discount it because I don't believe that I should rob you of discounting the service that we give you. What I will do is you connect me. Don't worry about clicking buttons and going through fancy landing pages. You send me a direct message and say, buddy, I'm struggling just now, how can you help me? And we'll come up with a payment plan, because I've forgotten that I made it about you guys, and I just want to own that a little bit.
Well said, brother.
Sorry, folks.
Good place from coming from heart.
Yeah, I've made it more about me. So
it's beautiful. There's a question here I'd like to address from Jada. How about hacking dopamine and oxytocin for higher states and peak experience instead of spirituality?
That's the best way.
There you go. Yeah, a big fan of the term biohacking, which is a what's it called, buzzword at the moment, or buzz term at the moment, biohacking. Yeah, big fan of biohacking, and effectively there are ways to get into those states, or those states of flow, or where we can increase naturally our dopamine and oxytocin. And we'll speak a little bit to that at Nexus as well. Yeah, I think that'll be cool.
Damien Porter will blow that out.
Yeah,
that's he's going to be out with my wife and I. He's going to be the first guest speaker in day one, and that's what he is a biohacker, and what he's going to talk about is myths and marvels around nutrition. So the pseudoscience and the current science, and he's just going to show you how to hack your way through doing that. But
Jada, I want to probably make a point on this, that physiology and physicality and spirituality is intimately connected, and physicality is an extension of our spirituality. And there are more and more tests being done, demonstrated by Western science, with respect to a feeling that we may have, or an experience that we may have, and it's being represented or being shown in our neurology and shown in the way our brains are actually behaving as well. So there's an intimate connection there. We're wrapping this, about to wrap this up now, but Rima, welcome. Thank you for being here, my dear.
Beautiful people.
Awesome, beautiful people, beautiful comments. But I wanted to speak to that special offer that we spoke about.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, before we wrap up for Nexus, but we don't know when it's going to be released, but if anybody's, sometime this week, and it'll be for like 72 hours, So it'll be sometime this week, this special offer will be released, and it'll be for 72 hours. And if you're interested, you can register your interest, just message Mark, or is that okay? I shouldn't say, message Mark and he'll take care of that. But the offer is that when the period begins to ending, will be 72 hours or 48 hours. Mark will determine all that, of course. But whoever purchases a ticket in that space will be in the running to receive one of my online programs, valued at $497 as well. So for free, for complimentary. So you'll be in the draw to receive that. So that's really cool. We're really excited about that, and it's a fantastic online program. Chaos to Clarity, a journey towards peak consciousness, and there's a wonderful a group of people already involved in that. So you'll have that opportunity as well. So I want to give that from my heart to Nexus, to my good friend here, and to the beautiful people out there. And who knows? Maybe we'll put a couple in there for the draw. I'm happy with that too. So increase the chances of you guys. Oh, Lana, should we put 3 in there? Very happy with that as well. No problem. I have no problem with putting 3 in there. I'm happy with that. Maybe more. So the more we can get there, that's cool.
I need to address that. Because it's who I am. Look at my previous posts, Lana, if we're not already friends, and you'll see scarcity. I'm owning it. You'll see the scarcity, you'll see the urgency. It was advertising, it was loud, it was brash, it was blind. I lost sight of my purpose. This is marketing. This is the right word in the right ear, hopefully at the right time for someone that's looking for the right tools to make change. If you don't want to come, I love you anyway. If you do, brilliant. I'm Scottish, I don't tell lies. There's no bullshit here.
It's a cultural image. He's Scottish, he doesn't tell lies.
It's just how I am.
No, that's awesome, guys. So, no, definitely, if you're interested in coming to Nexus, just know, people, I am not a part of Nexus in terms of. I'm not a part of Nexus in terms of the setup. I'm simply Mark's close friend, and I'm speaking there, and I'm just excited to be speaking to 1 or 1,000 people. It doesn't really matter; it's irrelevant. And we do these just because we enjoy doing them, and they're really very much deeply from our heart.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, just to be very clear on that as well. Yeah, so I'm just excited to get up on stage and just talk and just discuss and just be present with like-minded folks.
It's going to be fun, guys. The music is going to be cranking. There's going to be a lot of dancing. I'm going to tell a lot of stories. It's going to be brilliant. I would love to get as many people there as possible, just because the fun element is what's going to give you the takeaways. We could put this into an online course, and it's just going to be another thing that's lost out there. It's the novelty and the novel experience of being there. And if you can't be there, just the online thing. It's the experience, the music, the culture, obviously the content that's being delivered. But I feel it's the whole package that you're going to immerse yourself in emotionally. And hopefully that'll be something that you talk about when someone says, when was the last time you had a play?
Yeah, cool, that's awesome. Well, thank you beautiful people for being out there. If you resonate with the message today of play and fun, please feel free to share the video, of course. And if you have any questions on what we've spoken about today, reach out to us. That's what we're here for. We're here to be of service as best we can, of course. But please know, if there's anything that you need, we're here. Enjoy your evening, your morning, your day, wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much for being here once again. Many blessings on your journey.
I love that input.
I really appreciate your comments and your thoughts and your sharing and your vulnerability. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, and take care. Speak soon. Thank you so much. Guys. Bye. Oh, what was that?
That wasn't even me. Somebody said in the play.